All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real stuff and doing it in real time for a few real people out there, like two or three, just like you or me. So, another day and another crazy medical episode. This courtesy of something called popculture.com and my buddy Tony, who's a patron here on the channel. Tony sends me about 600 links a day. All right. And so he keeps me on my toes. Rockstar suffers massive heart attack. Yeah, it's happening all the time. But it's because of climate change or racism, maybe. I don't know about this guy. Maybe he's just not a good person. Dennis Lyxon, I'm gonna go with that. Speaks out, so he's gonna talk about it. Lyxon called the incident extremely painful and wildly scary. Yeah, you would think heart attack would be very scary. He's in a band called Refused, okay? Hardcore band. I don't know what that is. Hardcore, maybe punk. He has revealed that he suffered a massive heart attack on June 13th in Uppsala, Sweden. The 51-year-old. All right, so we know he's really, really old. 51 is like the new 91. We might have to, change those comparisons. 51 is the new 91, 71 is the new 111. Anyway, the 51-year-old musician shared the news with fans via an emotional Instagram post detailing the terrifying experience and its immediate impact on the band's upcoming performances. Lyxon, who is to celebrate his 52nd birthday, see, now he's just way over the hill. Next week, he's going to be 52, described the incident as extremely painful and wildly scary. He thanked the medical professionals who attended to him, stating, "Thanks, the wonderful doctors and nurses at the Uppsala hospital. I'm still around to fight another day." So he's giving the doctors credit for keeping him alive. The unexpected health crisis refused, that doesn't sound right, forced refused to cancel their show scheduled for June 14th at the Rosendal Garden Party in Stockholm. Now, I wonder if he refused the Little Elf protocol. I wonder if he decided not to do that, or he did it. Sweden had an interesting way of dealing with things. They tended to deal with the older folks, and they kind of let the younger folks do what younger folks do, which is to not do the little elf protocol. Although a guy around 50 or late 40s when this all went down, who knows? They could have urged him in order to get out there and perform that he had to do X, Y, and Z to be a part of the concert scene, which pretty much everybody had to do it. Behind the scenes, I've spoken to people and they've said, yeah, I didn't want to do it. Sammy Hagar recently came out and said, I didn't want to do it, but I did it because I wanted to be out on the road. Anyway, the last performance they did was particularly significant as it had been billed as the band's final festival show in their home country when announced back in March. The cancellation came as a blow to both the band and their devoted fans, with Lyxon acknowledging the disappointment. A complete bummer, as I was really looking forward to it. But hopefully, we will be able to make up to you soon. Refused, formed in Umeå, Sweden, I'm just guessing, in 1991, has long been recognized as one of the most influential rock bands of the early 2000s. All right, there we go. Their groundbreaking 1998 album, The Shape of Punk to Come, is widely regarded as the cornerstone of post hardcore music. There's so many different genres and so many different categories now. Post hardcore, the band's innovative approach to music, blending elements of electronics and jazz with their hardcore punk, coupled with their politically charged lyrics. I wonder if there are any lyrics in there about lockdowns and authoritarianism. And their energetic live performances have inspired diverse artists, including Linkin Park, Rise Against Paramore, and Blink 182. After a 14-year, okay, so they just keep talking about the band here. This is what they do in these articles. They just, all right, here we go. Lykeson's heart attack comes when refused influence continues to be felt throughout the music industry. Okay, so they mention again the medical episode, but they don't talk about um, maybe why it occurred despite the severity of his condition. Lyson remains optimistic about his recovery. In his post, the singer shared with fans, the good news is that with medication, big pharma to the rescue, I can get back to my rocking self, hopefully sooner than later. However, he also emphasized the need for temporary hiatus. That would be a temporary hiatus, Dave, from performing, stating, I really, really hate canceling shows. But the doctor said no rock for a couple of weeks. So that's it. No rock for a couple of weeks. Nothing to really see here. 51-year-old. Maybe he didn't take care of himself. You know, heart attacks happen. Yeah. It's like they have, I think, a new video out there, or it's not actually that new, where they talk about how, you know, heart attacks can happen to kids now. Well, heart attacks do happen with little kids. They didn't used to, but they do now, and that's kind of weird, right? And then this is all about the band and the cancellation, and he'll be back rocking in a couple of weeks, thanks to people over at the pharmaceutical company, just making great medicine, right? So he can recover, because otherwise he couldn't recover without it. Uh, no mention as to why, you know, just this happens. And again, every article I read, uh, it spends far more time, you know, talking about the person and their life and this and that, and very little on, gee, they put the word unexpected. They didn't say he had been ill prior to that. I know heart attacks are sneaky, and people can be living their life and then all of a sudden they have a heart attack and it doesn't really make sense, or a stroke or something of that nature. But it seems as though they're on the increase, right? I know people will say, you know what, we've always had these problems, you're just trying to connect two things that don't connect. And I'm like, I think they might connect. They might connect. That's why it would be good if we had a medical community that was trying to get to the bottom of why these numbers are so off the charts. There's this guy by the name of Ed Dowd, Dowd. You can try to Google, maybe use another search engine to find Ed, but he's done a lot of research on this, and he's come up with some very shocking data. And so if you want to, here's the deal. This is kind of like a religion for a lot of people, right? So if you want to believe that everything is fine, then there's a religion for that. We saw Dr. Fauci recently. I call him the little elf. He testified, and then he went on television and basically has put out the same information that he put out 2 or 3 years ago. It's astonishing. It's absolutely, so if you believe in that, if that's your religion, then you just continue to celebrate Dr. Fauci as the king or the savior, whatever, of that particular religion. It to me, it seems like a cult. Now, the people who are trying to get to the bottom of this, we're not perfect. Nobody is saying we are, but you have to have faith in something other than just the pharmaceutical industrial complex. You have to have faith in the way God designed the body to some degree, right? George Carlin, remember, he said at one point in a very entertaining skit a number of years ago, he said, your immune system needs practice. That's what he said. And pretty prophetic stuff from George Carlin. Didn't always agree with his take on religion, but he said some things that today seem to ring very true in an age where people are just like, no, I don't know, that didn't happen. You're just making stuff up, or you're trying to connect dots that don't connect, and just stay in your lane, dude. All right, so trying to stay in my lane. Maybe on the way out here, I'll stay in my lane and I'll feature this band here on my way out. Wasn't going to do really a CD on this particular episode, but I feel like I Need to sort of cleanse the palate. Here's Voltage. This is a band, by the way, I think from Sweden. So we were talking about a gentleman in Sweden. Fortunes and Willows is the name of this. And it's very Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers ish. But it's got its own vibe, and you should check it out because no one else is going to talk about this, at least not here in the United States. So, again, trying to close out here on a more upbeat, music related note. You do with this information, if you think it's just like speculation for views and clicks, these videos actually don't do that well for me. They don't. Compared to, videos about musicians who are going through drama in their band or something. People, this is my theory, is they don't want to know. If this is happening, they just don't want to know whether they did it or not. But the people who didn't do it, obviously, we're here to say, well, we kind of told you that this wasn't going to go well. And see, my reflex, my gut instinct at the time said, no, everybody is doing it, and it just sounds like one of those things where your mom said to you when you were a kid, if all your friends were jumping off the bridge, would you do that? And, you're supposed to say no, but kids would be like, yeah, everybody's doing it, so I'm going to do it too. So independent thinking is a good thing. All right. Now, some people take it to an extreme. They go down this rabbit trail and they'll come back with even crazier things. And sometimes that's not healthy. And then you live in that world. I'm actually trying to see both sides of this. And every time I look at the side of we had to do this, the lockdowns were good, everything was good, we did what we knew at the time was right. I can't relate to that. I cannot relate to fear. You know what fear does to your body? I mean, the toxins that are released during some episode that you have where there's fear, even just a negative episode in your life where you're sad or you're depressed, all those things hurt your immune system and probably does a lot of damage to the cells in your body. And that's what they've concluded. And this is before all this happened. Doctors were saying this for years, but now you say it in light of what they did with the lockdowns and everything. You can't say that. Oh, well, they didn't do that much damage. There's a little collateral damage, but we saved the world. Mm-hmm. Yeah, until the next one comes along. And then what's going to happen then? So my name is Dave. This is my channel. I would appreciate if you would watch the videos, like the videos. You don't even have to share the videos at this point because I know how people react to me out there. There are a number of people that just, I don't get it. I don't understand it because that's why I decided to call myself Harmless Dave, right? I tried that, but it didn't work. So in any event, Patreon, you want to support the channel? Buy me a coffee for those of you maybe who agree with me on this issue, because I got to know there are a few people out there who agree. You just want to buy me one Starbucks latte, right? You don't have to buy me 6 coffees. I can't drink them all at once. I could put the money away as a gift certificate for future visits to Starbucks. And really, this isn't actually coffee that I drink. Okay. Just full disclosure, but I could go and, enjoy some coffee. Today would be a good day for that. And then there's YouTube memberships. If you're so inclined to do that, that's a real easy way to support this channel. God bless everyone. Seriously, God bless you. God bless your family. We're living through historic, tumultuous, crazy times. Someday the historians will write the true story of what happened in 2020 and 2021. My guess is I probably won't be alive to see it, unfortunately. So for those of you a bit younger, maybe someday the truth will be told.